Welcome everyone, my name is Navetz, represent my esports team, the Sploush Troupe, and this video today is brought to you on behalf of Gamers Class. So finally, to end the guide, let's take a look at some stats and some variations and stuff like that. So Faceless Void is right here. We're going to look at the most important stat, and that is what people are doing in the highest brackets, because you want to base what you're doing around what the best players are doing. Faceless Void has a 51.60% win rate with a 17.18% win rate. That means that the pick rate is really high on Faceless Void. Like, this is a super high pick rate. You see Anti-Mage, Magnus, and Spectre being carry heroes with higher pick rates than Faceless Void at this point. But the win rate and that pick rate suggest that Faceless Void is definitely a major meta hero right now. If we take a look at the item builds and variations, this is kind of what I wanted to get into a little bit earlier. So let's take a look, because like I said, Faceless Void's items are super dependent on his draft. He is one of the best heroes to play against Anti-Mage, and Anti-Mage can also be good against him. But if Faceless Void catches Anti-Mage, it makes Anti-Mage's games really hard. So let's look at item variations. You see Power Treads, Midas, Manta. Now I do like this. If we take a look at who he's playing against, there's a root from Crystal Maiden. There's not a whole lot of other stuff on the enemy team, so just getting rid of Crystal Maiden's root, and then he's going to go just for the Maelstrom and then BKB. So a bit of a variation there. Still goes for a farming item in the Maelstrom. I kind of like it. Let's see this game real quick. Now this one, we also have the Midas into Manta style, and then Diffusal, Scotty, BKB. So this Faceless Void doesn't decide to get the MKB as well. Instead decides to get the Scotty. I do like it. It slows down the regenerative capabilities, and it tanks you up. When you're playing against heroes like Invoker, I'm actually a little surprised he didn't get the BKB third, but it looks like he was pretty far ahead, so he actually went and just farmed up really well and got the BKB, and then looks like finished the game off with 21-1. This build is very similar to what we saw just now, except for it skips the Midas. So by the way, Midas is not essential. I know I suggested going it, but it's not essential. You can go for your Mask of Madness, MKB, BKB, very similar to what we saw, and then he gets the Eye of Scotty. So Scotty helps you tank up and try to survive these burst initiations that come out from heroes like Sven and Queen of Pain, who has the Sonic Wave and so on and so forth. Now, this is another typical build. We see Mask of Madness into MKB, BKB, and then you split the Mask of Madness up into your Butterfly and your Satanic, and then also getting the Lincoln Sphere. So, pretty cool. Lincoln's is cheaper, and it's good against Abyssal. I'm guessing this Anti-Mage bought Abyssal as well. This Faceless Void decided to go Midas, Manta, MKB into Satanic and Deso. So, it looks like he just went Deso to end the game. And we're seeing a lot of cool build variations. You see there's a lot of players here who are building a lot of different ways on Faceless Void, and I really do like that. Okay, taking a look at some more builds, we see this one. This is a really interesting one, and this one I like a lot based on his opponents. He went for Manta into Heaven's Halberd. So what you can do is you can I like this build because you can do it a couple of ways. You can go for your Hand of Midas. He went Hand of Midas, then he went for Yasha into Manta into Heaven's Halberd. I wouldn't have minded seeing a Sanjin Yasha and then disassembled into the Manta and then into the Heaven's Halberd, because Heaven's Halberd's really good against Sven. Another typical build, this one we see basically the build that we just saw, except for he goes for the Mask of Madness first, and then the Hand of Midas, then the MKB. And instead of getting the BKB, he goes Butterfly into Satanic. Another Midas into Manta game, he goes for Agnums, which is a pretty big, pretty different way to play it. I do like the Agnums. Looking at the heroes that he's playing against, it's good against Naga Siren, and it's good to stun the Drow Ranger. So I kind of like it. Good against the illusions. I would have expected to see a Mjolnir. Yeah, we do see a Mjolnir. Mjolnir is really good against Naga Siren. And then just a couple more to check out here. Hand of Midas into Power Treads, into Manta, into MKB, and then gets the Satanic. So who is he playing against? He's playing against some pretty strong heroes here. Yeah, he's got the Legion Commander that can duel him. He's got the Storm that can zip on him. He's got the Skywrath that can silence him. So he needs the Manta early to deal with the silences. Yeah, this is pretty good. And then last but not least, we have a Power Treads into Mask of Madness, into BKB, MKB, and Satanic. That is, you kind of get the feel for how games are built around, or how items are getting built for Faceless Void by taking a look at some of these. There's a lot of variations that are very powerful, but hopefully that gives you kind of like a lot to think about when you're starting a game with Faceless Void. So lastly, let's think about some heroes and drafts, and like where you'd like to play Faceless Void, where you wouldn't like to play Faceless Void. Silences and stuns and a lot of lockdown is kind of what makes Faceless Void's game more difficult. That's where you have to start really thinking about how you're going to play. You got to be really thinking about your itemization, your BKB timings, your Manta timings, things like that. So heroes that are good against him are heroes that can also combo well with other heroes. If you think about an example of one hero who combos well with himself, it would be Meepo. Meepo is a good hero that can lock down Faceless Void because he can continuously net him, and Faceless Void can't get away. Although Faceless Void can kind of easily kill Meepo in a chrono, it's not the greatest. Now, Phantom Assassin is another hero, or a hero that can do a lot of burst damage to Faceless Void really quick. When you're thinking about heroes that can do burst down Faceless Void in the time that he's stunned, you're thinking about heroes like Phantom Assassin, you're thinking about Tinies, you're thinking about Svens, stuff like that. So heroes that pop out a lot of damage, kind of difficult to deal with. Another one that's kind of difficult to deal with, however, all of this depends on how well you play the map. But another set of heroes that are kind of difficult to deal with are Legion Commander and Axe, because they'll typically buy blade mails, and Axe will call you, Legion will duel you, and then in that time that you're dueled or called, you can't time walk away your damage. Some heroes have mechanics that can catch Void, or that can really make Void's life a lot more difficult. Phantom Lancer is a hero that once he gets his diffusal, he can burn your mana super quickly. So you don't want to get in a position where you get your mana burned by all of Phantom Lancer's doppelgangers. You want to be in a situation where you're trying to catch the Phantom Lancer rather than him initiating on you with another hero. Anti-Mage is a hero that Faceless Void, I don't mind that matchup at all as Faceless Void. Like, you go back and forth. If you catch the Anti-Mage, you basically give yourself a giant advantage. Slark is a carry that you can pick against Faceless Void that kind of that has the leash mechanic that doesn't allow Faceless Void to time walk away. And you also have your Shadow Dance. So if you do see the chrono animation going off, you can Shadow Dance and potentially live through a chrono. However, if you get caught in a chrono, same as all the other heroes, you can go down pretty easily. The heroes that play pretty well against Faceless Void are heroes with stuns and silences. So Wind Ranger with Shackle Shot, if you're playing against a Void Spirit who's got an Agnum Scepter that's very annoying, or a Yule Scepter and the Aether Remnant, very hard to deal with. Storm can zip on you. Queen of Pain buys Orchid. Puck has a silence and can buy Orchid. You're looking at Crystal Maiden with a Root. Phantom's Embrace coming out of Grimstroke. Keeper of the Light has Will-O-Wisp. All of these heroes that can lock you down for a little bit of time. There's a lot of things to consider, but that's why itemization is so important. And then heroes that are pretty hard for you to lane against are heroes like I said earlier about the Legion. Legion's kind of tough. Axe can be a little tough. Somebody like Slardar or a Sand King, or even a Phoenix, like throwing a Phoenix into your lane makes your life a lot more difficult. Timber is a very hard hero for you to lane against. However, you do enough magic damage by the time you get your level 4 time lock and your MKB that it's not the worst to play against a Timber, because he usually won't be able to burst you down very easily. He can make your lane really hard, but as long as you survive your lane, you're kind of okay. So that's just a kind of like a whole bunch of considerations there. I know I didn't cover every hero, but just ways to think about it. And what it really comes down to when you're playing Faceless Void is looking at the heroes that you're up against, looking at the kind of spells that they have, the items that you think they're going to buy, and deciding how to itemize properly and how to play the map around your Chronosphere. Thank you for watching. I hope there was a lot that you guys learned about Faceless Void. Let me know if your games go well, and if you have questions, remember it's about itemization and playing around the Chronosphere and the map properly. Good luck, have fun in your games. I hope you win them all unless you're playing against me. Until next time, guys, one love.